A done deal made through Craigslist came back to haunt one Bay Area woman. She says the man who bought her car then tried to fraudulently sell it under her name. Julie Watts confronts him in tonight's Consumer Watch.
When you looked at this ad, your first reaction was what?
Good on him, that he's making a couple of grand.
Christine wasn't immediately surprised when she saw the car she sold on Craigslist posted 24 hours later for $2,500 more. But then she noticed the ad boasted a new engine with paperwork to prove it.
I'm not a mechanic, but I find it very hard to believe.
She hadn't put in an engine, and when she took another look at the copy of her pink slip, she panicked.
He had not signed as the buyer. I had only signed as the seller.
So he's selling your car under your name with forged paperwork under your name,
saying that I'm the wife.
That's what her roommate discovered when he took this cell phone video posing as an interested buyer. The man, who says his name is Angelo Marks, had a detailed story about why his wife, Christine Brown, had to have her engine replaced.
So she got onto the freeway and the motor blew. It's a new motor. It's not a rebuilt one.
And the receipt he provided for that motor had a misspelled version of Christine's name.
I haven't been anybody's wife for over 10 years.
That's my name. That's the name of the company.
We took that receipt to the mechanic who supposedly did the work.
I can tell you that this one is fake because looks like from the original invoice, what they did is they make a copy.
He told us he'd never heard of Christine and didn't recognize the man in the video. But if that man succeeded in selling the car, the mechanic worried both he and Christine could be held liable.
It's not right. It's just not right.
And it's not legal. You must have a second-hand dealer's license to sell a car that's not in your name. So we accompanied Christine's roommate when he met with the second-hand seller a second time. Right now, you're illegally selling this car.
Okay.
He didn't seem to care about violating state law. You know, your ad on Craigslist says there's a new engine. That's fraud.
Well, that's the paperwork the lady gave me.
So are you denying that you forged that document?
I deny this.
Exactly what Christine suspected and feared he would say.
My name is on it as the seller. I'm assuming he's going to give it to the next person and have them sign it as the buyer, which would bypass him completely.
So in hindsight, how do you think you could have protected yourself from this?
To have him sign as a buyer, but also print his name underneath, because a signature a lot of times is not legible.
The DMV Fraud Department has now opened an investigation, but keep in mind, when selling a car, you can certainly request the buyer sign the pink slip in your presence, but they're not legally required to. You, as the seller, however, are required to file a notice of transfer and release of liability with the DMV within 5 days, which Christine did, and you can easily do that online. We have a link there for you. Head to cbssf.com/consumerwatch.
So what's going to happen next? Can he be arrested for this?
If they track him down, he certainly can, and as I mentioned, the DMV is investigating.
All right, Julie, thank you.
All right, Roberta, we know you're investigating. What's up with this wind? It's pretty windy out there.
I just want Julie Watts to walk through life with me. Because
Protect
if
you?
anybody gets upset with the forecast, there's Julie Watts to handle it all, to look into it.
I'll protect your own.
All right.
Superhero.
Boy, we've got to protect ourselves from some very